Okay, you're back with us in Republica. We're still talking to former Senator Eddie Larde. So, Mr. Senator, this kind of invectives, colorful language, it's a novelty. We've never had a president exactly blurt out in public, no? Very transparent. And because of this, he has become sort of like iconic. And people have embraced him. Would this be the correct phenomenon of what is happening?
Well, iconic in a sense, no. Being too frank and too honest becomes too frank and too honest to a fault.
Okay.
Anything of too much of anything
Yeah.
might not be pleasant anymore. No? But the thing is, he is a man of the masses.
Yes.
The president is a man of the masses.
Yes.
And while he is one of a kind because he says it what it is,
Yes.
may mga nagdaan tayong mga leader na mahilig din magmura. Mahilig din to a fault. Na,
Yes.
for example, the late Speaker Pepito Laurel.
Yes.
And when he speaks, even in the floors of Congress, even when he's being interviewed, very colorful.
Okay.
Very colorful to a point na parang invective na nga eh. But what I mean is being too honest and too frank to a fault may just be refined a little bit. I mean, but, there are leaders. Leaders by nature are harsh and
Yes.
cold-blooded.
It has to be.
That's a born leader.
It's part
You
of
have
the
to be
nature.
harsh and cold-blooded.
Yeah.
And, that's it. But some people will not like it. But those who will not like it will eventually like it. Because 99% like it. And especially if you're a good leader. And if you say what you mean and you mean what you say, that's it.
People can identify with President Duterte when he's very frank, very crisp, very brief in his language. People can identify. Would that be the reason why everybody finds a great appeal when he appears?
Yes, yes. Yes, although some people are telling me, please suggest not to keep on repeating it. Eh, sabi ko, hindi pa naman matanda ang ating presidente, hindi pa naman katandaan. Katulad sa amin, ni Rene Espina, na medyo paulit-ulit na kung minsan, hindi maiiwasan. Aging is inexorable and it's going to be there. But the thing is, you are loved and you're respected. Now you ask yourself, do I want to be loved or feared? Would you like to be loved or to be feared? Born leaders, both. They have to be feared, they have to be loved.
Can this kind of novelty, can this approach of the present administration to our people, dealing with them, they see this as sincerity? Would that be a correct way to look at
Yes,
it? They see it as
that's
sincerity.
frankness, being frank and honest. Sincerity. Walang bulahan, kumbaga.
And they prefer that, no? The people has reached that point, they prefer that. Is it because masyado na silang nabola in the past?
Hindi nga. Pag nagpa-social ka nabubola ka eh. Pero pag katotohanan lang yung totoo lang sinasabi mo, that's it. The people like it.
Is it because they've reached sort of like a tipping point of frustration? All the sacrifices they've made, they've heard, of course, a lot of good speeches in their lifetime. And here you have somebody who calls it what it is. When you ask him what his platform of government was before, during the campaign, he says, mangungopia lang ako. And that clicked. I mean, that clicked. Do you think it's because of that? People really embrace him and
There is, at the back of this, you are being looked at as masyadong malaswa. But at the back of that, the people will say, he's just being honest. He's just telling the truth. He's just telling what he feels.
Sincerity trumps...
Sincerity, as you were saying.
Sincerity trumps a good speech? Would that be the way to say it? And for a president, the highest office in the land, to be able to speak this way. What happens to the formalities and the requirements of growing into office? The people are not anymore so much interested with this, no? with the trappings of power. What do you think, Mr. Senator? Or they're more interested with being able to see that this is a real president?
Yeah, I think so. No, but you know there are some unwritten rules in
Decorum, for example?
diplomacy.
Yes.
For example, in diplomacy, in meeting other heads of state.
Aha.
Siyempre, baka isipin na wala tayong social grace, no? Depende na pag sa politika, you're just
anything
yourself,
goes.
no? Pag nandiyan na yung mga lalo na yung mga puti na hindi naman sanay sa atin, medyo siguro pakikibagayan natin ng konti. But that does not mean that you are changed because of them.
Yes.
You're just playing it by the traditional, the rules by tradition.
You see the president in his several meetings with foreign leaders that he is able to exercise decorum and function with much discretion.
That's on the right step, the right way to do it. And that's the right way to do it.
But when he faces the Filipino people, he gives them what they want. yun ba yun?
I'm at home eh.
I'm at home, no?
He's at home.
So it's
Dito
okay.
tayo sa atin sarili. Kaya mo muna, siyempre pag nandyan sila, medyo ano tayo ng konti eh. Medyo behave tayo ng konti. Pero pag tayo, mo sila.
Which shows that he can actually control his language, his demeanor, and his decorum with other individuals.
Look at Trump. When he's speaking before his fellow Americans, akala mo ang tapang-tapang niya pag nandyan na. Sabi siguro ni Xi Jinping, hindi naman pala masyadong maano ito, brusko. He was nice to me. He was telling me that it's an honor to see him. And even what's his name, sa North Korea. Ay siguro nag-iisip din si yung North Korean head.
Yes.
Siguro ano kaya kung
Kim
magkita
Jong-un,
kami
yes.
nito? Baka hamunin ako ng suntukan nito eh. Pero hindi, ayun pala, mabait. It's an honor. He's a smart cookie. You know?
Can this tenor of political language, can this be sustained for the next 6 years? Or do you see the change of tone?
There's always, Eric, there's always room for mellowing. Like aging. Like, who was the great man who said that as I grow older, I think it's, what's his name, a philosopher. Now that I'm older, my writings are getting shorter. That means that I have mellowed with the years. And you mellow with your term. First year, second year, up to the 6th year.
Okay.
You mellow out.
Hopefully, hopefully.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know the president that much. I just base it on what other people can be, what other leaders know. And that born leaders are really harsh, brusco, cold-blooded, and talagang ganon. From the time of, siguro from the time of Lapu-Lapu to, hindi natin alam si Aguinaldo and Bonifacio how they spoke.
Yes.
Siguro nagmumurahan
Nagmumura,
sila
yes.
Tagalog. And then we do not know how,
even Manuel Quezon before used to.
Manuel Quezon with this puñeta, and with this coño. I don't know
How about the other presidents, Mr. Senator?
Era.
Okay.
Era. Ano mo naman si Era?
How about, kuha ninyo,
Common man yan eh.
How about the other Quirino? Did he have his own bent for language?
Lahat yan. Born leaders are really like that. But you just don't know it because they hide. They hide within the veil of, as you say, leadership.
And the speech writers, of course.
The speech writers.
Yes.
Right. Languages of leadership. So, talagang ganon. We have to accept it for what it is. The common denominator is, are you a good leader? Are you honest? Are you incorruptible?
That's what's important to President Duterte, I think, yes.
Are you incorruptible? Are you going to straighten this out? Simple laws that are not being implemented. Will you implement simple laws that are not being implemented? There are many of them. And will you be able to rectify what wrong has been done? And well, no one is perfect. Only God is perfect. You cannot do everything. in 6 years. But there will be a market improvement. I'm sure there will be a market improvement.
But President Duterte has been quoted as saying that he finds, for example, staying in Malacanang corny. He says that it's corny, and therefore this shows that the man is not so focused about the ceremonies, the courtesanship, the obeisance of the office, which was usually granted to former presidents, and looks at substance more, as you just mentioned. As long as there is no corruption, government service is functioning effectively. That's what he is looking at. But there's another portion here. How about history? How will history
Judge?
Yeah, is in your own mind, do you think President Duterte is looking at history, or he also finds this corny? And therefore, what is important to him is, I am doing my job, I am being sincere with the people, I am dealing directly with them. Substance is not as important as what I'm saying.
That's what I call simplicity. You are simple in your thoughts. You did not seek a position to be emblazoned in the pages of history. You wanted to be in that position so that you can serve. Of course, sometimes that's the corny one. Bakit ka tumakbo? To serve. Well, that's the usual the politician's mother of all answers. No? But if you're a simple man like him, hindi mo iniisip yung bukas, hindi mo iniisip yung history, basta, I'm just doing it the right thing.
Most presidents, or most leaders for that matter, always want to leave a legacy. They want to look at how history will judge them in the future. And that is what is called your sense of history. But in the case of President Duterte, it's not at the back of his mind. Is that what your sense of him, being a very simple man? He doesn't look at how history will judge him?
I'm not saying he's dull. He's a born leader.
Yes, yes.
But by being simple, you don't have to be dull.
Yes.
You can be wise and yet be simple. And the thing is, refinement will be as you age. As you go farther in your leadership as president of the country, along the way, you will learn na ganito pala yan. Ganito pala ang tama dyan. Parang hindi ako namumura ng ibang mga tao dyan. But of course, pwede mo sabihin na, so what? Kung murahin niyo ako, ganun. So what? Kung di niyo ako magustuhan. But by doing the right thing, and it's unpopular, doesn't mean I'm wrong.
What is it, Mr. Senator, in language? You are in the medium. You are right in. You have your feet down into the water of the medium of language. What is it about language that makes it very powerful, very inspiring? It moves minds. Is it really power? Is language really power? Or is it the knowledge of the language that provides the power? The transference of ideas, which is the most important phenomenon between the dealings between one man as against another man, to be able to give your learning to another individual and make him move. That will be our question when we return.